Yesterday, we expertised Artemisia, and today, I think it's time we go and expertise Ramesses. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and our pass for battling is going to happen in the next 24 hours or so from the time that this video gets published, which means we've got to go and spend sculptures to max commanders that we plan to use for fighting. So today, we're going to go and expertise Ramesses, who, by the way, is an amazing open field commander. And in this video, we're going to cover a number of things. First of all, the considerations other than Ramesses, the reasons we were thinking about maybe not doing him and instead doing a different commander. From there, we'll talk about all of the reasons why I think Ramesses is still the right pick for us. And then we're going to do a little bit of hyping for our live stream later tonight, where we're going to go in and craft a bunch of legendary gear. And we're also going to max out Esmeralda, who is basically going to steal all my gems and give me nothing. Take from me everything and give me nothing. But hopefully it'll be a little bit better than that, right? So let's start with the reasons why I debated not expertising Ramesses. First and foremost, he is a Wheel of Fortune commander, which means, for me, every time the Wheel of Fortune comes around and he's the only commander I would have wanted from that wheel, I basically get wrecked. I can't spin because he would have been the only one, and now I have him expertised. I am now very leery as a spender for investing in Wheel of Fortune commanders. I actually think for the game as a whole, that dynamic is actually kind of healthy, that it slows down the rate at which big spenders are progressing, and it accelerates in some ways the rate at which new spenders can catch up to things. But so I think that's all generally a healthy balance. Our next Wheel of Fortune, if you haven't seen, probably is going to have Trajan and Guan and Harold. So I'll spin for Trajan, right? But on the topic of Trajan, that is one of the other commanders that I considered. And a part of the reason I'm not going to expertise Trajan is that if I were to do that, it doesn't really give me another infantry march that I could use in the field. I mean, I could use a mixed march. I could do it. I could mess around with my gear and try to figure that out. It would cost me, well, something like 500 sculptures to go and do Trajan instead of Ramesses, but I'm going to pass on it because I got to have some wheel commanders I can continue to spin. And it's not really going to give me another march unless I don't know, Trajan Athelflaed, like I could do that, or Trajan Constantine, which is really tanky, and maybe because a content creator who's getting focused a lot, maybe I should be thinking tanky, but I'm passing on Trajan. I'm also passing on Tamaris, a commander that I really did consider here. So I would use potentially Artemisia Tamaris. That would give me 2 premium archer marches in the open field. I got Nebu and Ramesses, and I could use Artemisia and Tamaris. And the reason that Tamaris is interesting is that she's going to debuff defense, which is really good, especially when you're bringing 6 or 7 marches hitting the same thing, and also make the target take more skill damage. And pretty much all my marches these days are going to be doing skill damage. Tamaris was very tempting, but she's not very tanky. The advantage of Tamaris is that she's a Mightiest Governor commander, and I mean, those are great to put universals into because you're never going to get any more of those sculptures unless you really wanted to for some reason. The final commander that I considered, and I'd really love to be able to expertise this dude, is Leonidas. But at 685 sculptures for me to get that job done, that feels a bit steep compared to some of my other options. Adding Leonidas to my lineup is going to be great, but it isn't actually going to give me another infantry march, a premium infantry march that I'd want to use in the field. I'd probably go with Guan and Leo and Alex Harold, and then I'm tapped on infantry marches. I haven't actually accomplished much. And while I do like the idea of getting the Charles Martel kind of out of the rotation for my open field combos, so right now I'm using Charles and Harold, which is like, you know, it's fine. It's tanky. It does some damage. It's fine, honestly. And it would be a step forward. It doesn't unlock for me an additional premium march in the same way that working on a commander like Ramesses would. So let's talk about the virtues of Ramesses, because I think I've given a number of reasons why I'm avoiding a bunch of these other commanders. Why am I so hyped about Ramesses, even though he's a Wheel of Fortune commander? And the reason is that he is very tanky and does lots of damage and has massive utility. I mean, when I was chatting with my Alliance members, we were talking about how he is arguably one of the top 3 commanders in the game for the open field. He's kind of, as I've said in previous videos, the Saladin of archers. Why is that? Both Saladin and Ramesses reduce the skill damage you are taking by a massive amount. 30% skill damage taken reduction in a skill damage meta with commanders like Trajan running around and everybody trying to use more skill damage commanders to take advantage of the Trajan boosts. Yeah, no, reducing skill damage is really, really good. He also has a massive amount of stats. 40% attack, a chance to proc an additional 40% march speed and attack, and a chance to proc an additional 40% defense and healing. I mean, he is just very, very solid from a stat standpoint, and these skills, all 4 of them, are relevant and strong in the open field. Ramesses also plays a really solid role in Ark of Osiris. If you're up against a Zenobia garrison, you have a chance to cut the healing by 100% on the target when he is expertised, which is really strong. He's also got, man, a debuff over here. 25% defense reduction tied to the active skill. Well, yeah, that's really, really strong, especially in a world in which people are swarming with a lot of marches, 7 marches to be exact, and Heroic Anthem and Strife for the 8. That seems incredibly strong right now. Heck, Ramesses is even extremely usable as a rally leader. So he's good in the open field, he's good for rallies, he's good in Ark of Osiris, he's tanky, he's good in Canyon. Oh, don't even get me started on all of the people using Artemisia Ramesses in their offlane in Canyon. Yeah, it's really strong. That's what people are doing. It's really good. Heck, now I can move my way into 2 archer marches in Canyon to counter all those infantry people are using. I'm definitely hyped, and it's all of those reasons that make me want to go and expertise Ramesses today, even though I'm definitely going to lose out on some sculpture value in future Wheels of Fortune. And heck, I mean, I bet you with my luck, I expertise these 2 commanders, the one I did yesterday, Artemisia, and I do Ramesses today, and probably Legendary Tavern shows up tonight, and I'm just gonna facepalm so hard, which we will do on stream, by the way. So let's first go in and expertise Ramesses real quick. Let's do the job here, shall we? We have 1,639 sculptures. We got, I believe, 4 Wheels of Ramesses, which is unusually high for a commander. I think he was in for a couple extra cycles. Much more progressed for a wheel commander than would normally be the case for me, which is yet another reason why I think expertising him makes sense. So let's get this started. 33 sculptures to put over 1 more skill. Beautiful. It doesn't really matter where these skills are going to land for me today. If you were working on this commander, gosh, I mean, all the skills are so good. I really do like the 3rd skill, reducing skill damage taken, probably more than the 4th skill, even though it's really good. So I'd probably go 5-5, 5-1, and then work on those final points. But here we go. There's another skill. Drop over 80 sculptures. Boom. And 80 more sculptures. There it is. The project is complete. We unlock the expertise skill now, which, by the way, is going to make it so that for the next 2 seconds, the target takes additional damage per second, 1,000 damage factor, so it has 2,000 damage factor, and its defense is decreased by 30%. Meanwhile, the target is inflicted with heal immunity. It is worth pointing out, I do want to mention this, I said that he was good for swarming garrisons in Ark of Osiris. You know, one of the things that Theodora does is clears debuffs. Pretty sure that this damage per second counts as a debuff, so there's a little bit of downside to that. And if you're getting value from this video, if you just learned something, throw a like on here, consider subscribing for daily videos designed to help you get value and smash your enemies in Rise of Kingdoms. So if we go now and talk about the game plan for my commanders and gear, we've now expertised our 30th legendary, and I've got to get a set of gear onto this commander. Most of that gear right now that's already crafted is sitting on my YSS, defending my city. We've got 3 premium archer pieces here, the Golden Age, special talented, and Revival chest and legs, special talented. We need to go and make Revival helmet, which we'll do on stream tonight, as well as Revival gloves, as well as, man, the Archer health boots, which are really, like, very, very strong for just an epic piece of gear. I'll showcase those now over here. Archer health, 5.5%. Man, if I could special talent that, ooh, would that be 7.5% probably total stats? Yeah, that's a lot of health. That'd be really good. So we do the flame treads, we do the 2 pieces of epic gear, and boom, we've got our archer set lined up. But that is not all the crafting we're going to do tonight. In preparation for the possibility of cavalry commanders, and even just to free up more gear so I could do a 7th march and then bring some cavalry for that 7th march, I really like the idea of going in and making some cavalry gear. Now, the cavalry gear I want to make is from the cavalry set. I'd like to make the boots of the Hellish Wasteland. That's going to give me some cavalry health. Really efficient trades is what I'm going for there. And the cavalry chest piece, 11% health, which, by the way, gives me a 2-piece set bonus of 3% health. Use that on my Saladin William, and that seems really strong. It's also going to free up 2 pieces of gear to put onto some other commander that I can use, presumably when I've got 7 marches, when the KvK progresses to that point. I mean, I'll probably be dusting off Attila Takeda for that, unless the new cavalry are here. Maybe we're using them. That's a possibility. But we still have more materials, my friends. On stream tonight, we're going to be deciding whether or not we want to go in and we want to make the concealed dagger, which I think is just a freaking amazing accessory. And, you know, is it the best accessory? I think it's clearly an open field accessory. I think it is very strong to use as a counter rally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You want to debuff that target so that the garrison can do some work. And in fact, I am so serious about the concealed dagger. I'm going to pick this up right now. That's right. We're just going to put this in our inventory. We're going to have the pattern concealed dagger. Yup. Done. There it is. Oh my gosh. And there's no freaking screen confirming that you're making these purchases. That is terrifying. Okay. But I now get a Vanquisher pop. We'll go pick that up. Boom. There it is. But I'm also really serious about another thing that we could go and make this KvK. And I'm not sure if I should hold off on materials or just say, you know what, Chisgule, you'll just make it later. Which is that I have 1 extra conquest coin from the last KvK because I did a ton of battling, right? And I did a ton of honor grinding. So since I've got 1 extra conquest coin, when I get to 30 million kills in this KvK, which hopefully is in this next zone, we do a lot of good fighting. I could go and make this if I save up my materials. That'd be pretty cool. Sacred Dominion, 25% cav attack. It ain't bad. It ain't bad. Although there's so much attack stats in the Season of Conquest KvKs, it's kind of tempting to go, well, like maybe instead of a weapon, you go with the helmet. Defense is a more premium stat. I don't know. I'm a little bit torn, but we're going to go through all of those options tonight on stream when we do some legendary crafting. Maybe we'll make a concealed dagger, but we're making at least 2 pieces of the cav set. We're going to go to Esmeralda. It's going to be a ton of fun. Oh, and let's go and set our canyon lineup, shall we? Here we are in Lost Canyon, and I'm just going to make a quick change to my defense. I want to have a little bit more tankiness with my Artemisia. Nebu is good, but man, Ramesses is great. Good luck. Good luck. And once I have an additional set of archer gear, I'm going to be doing even more changes to this lineup. I think the Ethel William has to go at that point. We used the 2 archer marches. Unfortunately, no cav march at all, which is a little bit sad. And then 3 infantry marches. I don't know. We'll play with that a little bit later tonight after we've got some gear. We'll just confirm that defense real quick. And if you want to see kind of what this looks like on offense, I mean, what the heck? We could use one of our attempts and still have plenty remaining over here. Ooh, this team looks interesting. I mean, I don't know if I can... Can I beat this? I don't know. They've got Constantine Mulan, Trajan, Ethelfled. I mean, we have to battle this just to see what happens. Richard with Alexander the Great. And, I mean, Mehmed, hey. Oldie but goodie. And then Guan Leo. Oh, man. I don't know if I could beat this team. Let's give it a shot, though, because I think this looks like a really cool team to fight. And a lot of people I've noticed are using this Richard Alex offlane, which really perplexes me. Like, I don't think it's that premium of an offlane march. Does it do that much counterattack damage back? I don't know. And do I even use the Ramesses right now, or do I stick with the E-Song to just get massive damage supporting my Constantine, I think, what the heck? I think I should use the E-Song, but for the sake of having just Expertise Ramesses, I mean, let's just give it a try, right? I don't know if I can beat this team. Let's see what happens. Well, I mean, here we go. Here we go, baby. What do we got? Marches are in. My off lane is going to do its thing. Hopefully, the Artemisia Ramesses cuts some of the healing here. That would be quite nice. And there is my offlane March is doing great. Dude, my Charles Herald outsurvived Richard with Alex. Okay. That seems good so far. My Constantine just procced its heal. Love it. I'm doing some work on their Constantine. They got that Leonidas, however, which is really fierce. Now we go and we take out one of their extra damage marches. I mean, I think we've got this. I'm just not used to the Trajan Ethelflaed, which I think is a really cool idea for Canyon, by the way. I mean, I may be doing the same thing with my lineup very soon. They've got 2 marches left, soon to be 1. There we go. Yeah, so Ramesses is really good. And you can see my second march is tanking beautifully here. The Artemisia with the Ramesses is tanking very, very well. Pros and cons there to whether or not I use the archers, but I think in the very short term, as soon as I have a second set of archer gear, I'm going to be moving in a different direction here where I use Artemisia Ramesses and I also use the Nebu with E-Song. Just really crank that damage with that march. Very nice. Feeling much better about my ability to kind of hold my rank now. If we just get a quick look at the history here, I'm getting much more defensive victories, even though I'm attacked a fair amount in Canyon. I did lose a few on offense, trying to take out some tougher teams, which is totally fine. You gotta play around and take out some tough teams. But now that I've got the Ramesses, I'm feeling pretty good about how this is gonna go. Subscribe so you don't miss the live stream later tonight, and throw a like on the video if you enjoyed this. We're gonna be doing a crazy crafting session. We've got crazy battling happening tomorrow, and until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom, baby.